sorry about yesterday. I think first off, say just internet problems. It was like there was lots of people using the internet for some reason. I'm not sure why. But
yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. So anyway, we're back tonight with our indie spotlight, and we have a good friend of ours, Dave West from AccentUK, who hopefully will tell us all about how he got started and all that sort of stuff as well. I'm just going to close this because it's going a little bit slow.
Okay.
But anyway, so here we go. Let's bring
Dave in. Here he is.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hiya.
Yeah.
You okay? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving. I'm trying to keep busy, really. So I'm doing a little bit of colouring on comic, all those things you've been meaning to do for months at a time. So yes, I'm doing stuff.
Well, yeah. Let's start at the end. What comics are you colouring then?
So Stimson's Robot, issue 6. So it's Brad's art is a challenge to colour, because quite often if you for these tools you select an area and you get the whole thing, but if you don't enjoy the lines up, you select everything.
Oh yes, yeah.
So effectively painting behind his great art, and he has lots of different people, which each has to be coloured separately.
Oh, okay.
So it takes an age, but it's worth it. The art's great, and afterwards you think, oh yeah, that was worth it. But each one takes the way I do it, which is not the best way probably. It takes about a day and a half. It's a few hours.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
It's involved.
Yeah,
very involved.
That's issue 6. And issue 7 is Drawn, which is the last issue.
Yeah.
So the current climate, and you probably think the same things. Do I just collect it all as a trade? When are we going to get this thing out to sell to people?
Mm-hmm.
Not this year kind of thing. Then I could do the other one and just do it as a trade, not use 6 and 7 as issues.
Yeah.
Because as you know, within these issues, you have to sell enough of those then to then pay for the trade, and it's that balance.
Yeah. No, I think trades are. I think if I had 4 issues and I hadn't bought whatever, I would probably release a trade now. But say for new titles, I think building them up.
Yeah,
I try and do one at a time on the Kickstarter just to get that backing, that audience there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Keir Wordsmith's issue 2 of that is kind of done. So Ian's just finishing off the art. So I need to letter it and pull it together as a book, but that'll come out as an issue. You're right, because there's only 2 of them. I don't want to wait 2 years to do the next, to do the trade.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the thing I never considered before, because usually it's a year. You do them for each con year.
Yeah.
Then you collect them, but if there's no con year, it's kind of
that's difficult.
2 new ones to sell to people. At the con, it's a different thing. Yeah, so we've got to think about things like that, haven't we?
Yeah, very, very much.
Yeah.
So AccentUK.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you the first Comic Con we went to, I think, and I was really impressed, obviously, by Comic Village itself, by the fact there was such a good indie scene, and obviously AccentUK's material as well. And as I'm sure I've said to you before, I've certainly said to Marielle, probably my favourite comic is Whatever Happened to the World's Fastest Man.
Yeah.
So which is AccentUK, and I thoroughly recommend it. But can you sort of just take us through sort of how did it start for you?
Yeah. Okay. So Colin Matheson and myself, so Colin's the kind of partner in this in AccentUK. We were doing our own thing. So I did my little comic called More Than We Seem. And in those days, I was kind of co-writing and trying to do the artwork with a friend of mine who's a pilot. So it's just a guy that wanted to write. So I was on issue 3 of that. And then Shane Chepsey used to sell small press comics with people. He used to go to all the cons. There weren't that many in those days, for about three a year.
Yeah.
You can imagine that. So Shane had a store and he used to do cons, and we'd give him our comics and he would then sell them and give us a percentage back. But he'd be the guy that traipsed around all the comics cons and the comic marts, as they were.
Okay.
So when I met Colin, and so Shane said, "Hey, you should meet Colin," who was there in Manchester at the same time. He's doing a Zulu comic. And I said, "Oh, hi, Colin." And we introduced each other. And then I recognised Colin from a queue for a sketch at the Bristol con. So I said, "Oh, that is a Barry Kitson queue." And I said, "Oh, I know you. You've got 2 boys." He goes, "Oh, yeah. This was back in 2000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then we said, "Oh, well, let's get together." We kind of had a chat and a coffee, as you do. And then we just said, okay, we could share the costs of cons and do our own table at conventions, and we'll share the costs. So we could do a collective, as we called it.
Yeah.
We'd both support each other. We'd hire the table together, maybe get one room at Premier Inn with twin beds, and just kind of rather than two separate, just to kind of keep the cost down. Maybe I'll pick him up on the way, so we check the travel costs would be cheaper. All that stuff. It made sense. So we thought, well, the best way to kind of consolidate that or give it some substance would be to do an anthology together. So we did an anthology, very small one at the time, called Remembrance Days, because it was kind of the Remembrance Day was kind of coming up.
Okay.
So we did a short story each, and we got some other people locally to contribute little short stories, and that was the first thing we did together. And then it kind of every year we did an anthology which was themed on things like zombies or Western or whatever. And we also then did our own stuff under the AccentUK banner. So I kind of killed off my little Diva comics, which is Dave misspelt. And Colin had his M56, which is the motorway that near his house, sort of thing. So and we did AccentUK, and we haven't looked back really. So it's year on year. We've done a themed anthology until recently, when we've done more kind of standalone stories or series ourselves. Because the anthologies were a lot. You've probably done them yourselves, but a lot of work putting them together.
Yeah.
That the artist disappears on you, and you feel guilty for the writer because he's got something that's not going to be produced.
Yeah.
As we promised, it becomes a real problem. We didn't meet people in those days, so the anthology was more of a shop window for them. We didn't make anything on it, but it was a good quality book that we got, through Diamond out across the world and things. So it's a good calling card for them, really.
Yeah.
But nowadays, as you do yourselves, we pay people.
Yeah. Sorry, how long were the stories in each of the anthology?
They varied. So we varied from like a one-page gag to a kind of an 8-page was the kind of the maximum. Although we did allow a couple bigger because they were just good and they just came in bigger.
Yeah.
But we kind of drew the line at 10 pages. But the actual books themselves were like 182 pages in the end. They're really fat things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going through Diamond even then, so.
So we were. So we had a few attempts at Diamond. So the early anthologies weren't great. There was this quality. It's like you like people and the art's not great, but it's good enough to tell the story, and you like, and you want everybody to be involved.
Yeah.
We took a few to the Diamond guys, Diamond geezers, as I used to call them. And they're like, well, it's not quite ready. It won't do well. We don't get many orders. And we said, okay, fine. What do we need to improve? And they said, well, the art's a bit inconsistent. Okay, right, fine. So people tend to see the art. They don't typically worry about the stories, whether they're.
I don't know why I bother, really. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So fastest band people say, oh, the art's fantastic. I said, yeah, but I like that. Anyway, so we kind of over the years we kind of improved the art. We focused on the art. So when we got the Zombies anthology, and at the same time the Wolfman came out with Andy Blore, a kind of film noir kind of horror, gangster thing with werewolves. So it's kind of a London gangster thing. We took them to Diamond and said, how about this? Is this kind of, and they went, oh, absolutely. That looks really good. So we put them in. So this was about 3 years after we started.
Yeah.
We're taking each one to them and learning a little bit about, they said, yeah, absolutely. And I put them in. Then on until, I guess, 5 or so years ago, maybe less, we were always in Diamond.
Yeah.
But then they got a lot tighter with the numbers that they had to sell, and it became harder and harder to get in. So we just thought it just became too much effort, really.
Yeah. But it's a good rule, though, isn't it? Just to go to them and actually say, you're almost going to the end point and then working backwards.
Yeah, because they know what they're selling. They know what sells. I mean, we've had them actually support us in discussions with America, because some of the titles that they rejected, not just us but other UK guys, and they've received themselves in the UK some real rubbish from America, and they said, wait a minute, you've rejected this thing.
Yeah.
You've published this. You've distributed this. It's not as good as, and yes, but it's got female bodies on the front. It's all about, so they know it will sell.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that as well. And you don't want to kind of just write things that will sell, but there's that balance as well. The whole, you have to put yourself in the retailer's shoes, really, and say, am I going to buy this thing that will definitely sell to that group of kids, or this thing which I may sit on the shelf for a year or two, or forever, So it's tough. Yeah. It's tough. So we did listen to Diamond, and we did improve and reshape what we were doing, and then we were in there, and we did good numbers through them, to be fair.
Yeah. That's good. So just recently we've managed to have a couple of them in Diamond. We put hexes and corn, so that was quite good. And I've got a package over there to send the next couple of ours as well, but with Diamond being what they are at the moment.
Yeah, it's affects everything, isn't it? So
a great time to get into diamond. Blue box timing. But,
it's really good.
Yeah.
It's worked out really well.
Yeah. Western Wild's so the Western Wild's the one I want to get into diamond next. And the coloured version that we're doing through Smack G's. So Matt Soft's coloured it now for us. We're building a trade paperback, although we've already done the trade paperback in black and white, so we feel a bit guilty about that. So we've added a few pages, we've changed little bits that we noticed. So it's kind of a mastered version. And it's got some extra stories in the stuff, but that's when I want to get into diamond.
It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, well, I mean, it's strong. It's a strong genre, the Western. And
it's kind of underused. So Gary Crutchley, the artist on that, I've known him for quite a while, and we kind of what we into. We grew up with the Western movies. We thought, well, yeah, but that's kind of done to death. No, it's not actually. If you think about comics with westerns and Western horror, not a lot of it.
Not a lot. No,
so we thought, actually, we could do that then because it's not oversaturated. So we produced that one.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That's really, really nice. So how long because you said 2000 you were going around the Comic Con. So how long has AccentUK actually existed as AccentUK?
I think is the date we got on it. 2001 we started.
Okay.
So all those years, an overnight success in 19 years or whatever. We've evolved each time. The printing, the first printing was me going to a local printer, and they didn't know what comics were. They were awful, but really bad. And I was charging $1.95, and it's cost me £2.50 or something to print the damn thing. It was really hard. And then Stuart Gould came along, and now Rich, through, and we've just the printing now. It's affordable. We discussed with Stuart way back because he said, "Oh, it's going to cost this. If you did it in a different format, then it'd be much cheaper." And I said, "Well, wait a minute. What do you mean?" He said, "Well, if it's a little bit smaller, it gets on the UK format paper. But you've got American, so there's a lot of wastage." I said, "Well, I'll make it smaller." Reduced. I think we were probably the instigators of the UK format. Going back then, we said, "Well, reduce it that size. The same kind of format, proportion-wise, but a bit smaller." Well, and people in America have bought the thing. It's only when they get it home and put it in the comic bag and put it next to the others, they realise it.
But yours always must go at the end then, or something, isn't it?
And we've sold it and we're in a different country, so. But yeah, because it looks the same, but it is a little bit smaller. But that's much cheaper to print. And then suddenly the printing came down. It's more affordable. We could then charge less because we want people to read it, not to make a lot of money. So it's that kind of balance.
But it is, isn't it? I mean, that's what I think as an independent publisher, you're always looking at that sort of stuff.
You've got to look at the economics. I know a lot of kids early on when we were starting off, and we've always been thinking about the economics of it. We don't want to make money, but when you add up the cost of the artist and the colorist if you use one and all these things, print cost, you have to kind of keep all that in mind to say, okay, how much am I going to have to charge to balance it? And if I make a bit of profit so I can do more, how much do I have to charge for that? And then quickly you realize actually that's too expensive, so you need to kind of start cutting costs and considering other things. When I color things as robot because colorists to make it too expensive. But with Western Noir, with Gary doing the art because we co-create it, so he does the art for nothing and he's co-writing it. I was paying Matt Soft to color. So it's got a balance. We don't print thousands as we don't print 10,000 of these things.
No.
So therefore, the cost is quite expensive to print them. Because you get those numbers, so you know all this. So you have to, a lot of the kids that early on, they printed loads of these things. And when I went along the year after and the year after that, they still had the first issue for sale. And I said, "Oh, you've not done number 2 yet?" "Oh, yeah, but I can't afford it because I printed 2,000 of these and I need to." And you're thinking, and I did advise them not to go mad on it. Because it's cheaper per unit, but you have more of them to sell. So it costs the same, spend the same money, but you still got to sell them all to then get the money back. It's tough.
For the single issues, I think we print much closer to the backer numbers now, and like maybe 50 or 100 more. And I think for things like but I've fallen foul of that as well. I mean, for Robin, I think probably the first lot were, I don't know, maybe 1,000 or something like that. But then it was 600 for number 2, and then I think like 300 for number 3.
Yeah, I'm doing that with Simpsons Robot. If I was going to print 6 and 7, I'd have printed less and less of each one because you want to get the trade, and that's the thing. But you don't want to let the people down that want to buy the individual issues because they got the first 5 not to be able to buy them. It's a game, isn't it? You have to balance it all out.
So looking back, are you happy that you started AccentUK?
Sometimes I kind of resent people that don't have these hobbies. What's it the weekend? Oh, I watched this film, or I did that, and I went down the pub, and I went to the park, whatever.
Yeah.
And what do you do? And I said, well, I was writing this thing, and I was colouring that thing, and you have to do it. Once you start, you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you can't really switch off and have like a month without doing anything, just drifting around. You feel like you let yourself down. You should be doing something creative.
Yeah.
It's kind of an itch that once you've scratched it, you have to keep scratching it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do kind of, but I love doing it. You said the fastest man, that was one of the heights. That got such good. I think if I'd made £1 for every torrent download in those days, I'd have made about £1 million.
Yeah.
Because it was just ripped off, and it annoyed me a little bit. It's great that all these people want to read it. Bad in that if they paid me that money, I could have done loads more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It is, I kind of see why people do, but
it hurts. Yeah, you're being very generous. I can't see why they do it. Yeah.
I think in their defence, I didn't have it available digitally.
Yeah. Okay.
So I kind of got that. But it's been. I think for us small companies, people don't realise how hard it is. Even when Dime was shipping, and I had emails from shops in America. Well, one shop in America particularly, they couldn't get more stock through Dime, the fastest man. So I sent them a box for their customers because they really wanted to see it, to read it, and to have it. And I made nothing out of it. I think I lost a little bit on the packaging and stuff.
Oh, really?
I wanted people to get it and read it.
Yeah.
But it's just everything's really tough for us, isn't it? We have to everything, and people think, oh, you do well on Kickstarter. I think, oh, you've done really well on that. Maybe I can get a bit more out of you. Yeah, but they don't think about the cost of the cons, all these shipping things, all this stuff. It just adds up.
Well, again with the latest one, I've got like 1,300 backers. I'm gonna have to take a week off to patch these things. And get it right. It's gonna take ages.
Yeah, you did really well with that one, didn't you? So I dream of that kind of number.
Yeah, really happy. But oh my God,
Yeah.
There's a lot to be. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do. But there you go.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to be.
A nice problem to have.
Yeah. No, very much.
And I wonder whether Kickstarter will start pushing out things like that for us anyway. Things like Diamond.
Yeah.
Kickstarter starts to pick up more and more, which it seems to be.
Yeah.
Then that could fill that gap for us.
Yeah. Saying a couple of nights ago, I think I think things like in these times for us, I think Kickstarter is a bit of a lifeline, really. If you've got something ready, or if you've got something half ready, and as long as you've got the right sort of time scales on it, and let people know.
You're trying to go to the post office around to try and ease the so you're not queuing. Like, that's that guy again.
Yeah. I was speaking to Joey Oliveira, the guy who does Ghost Ship and stuff, or Ghost Island. I must remember. I think Ghost Ship is like an 80s horror film, isn't it? Anyway, he's got this. You've got a printer like one of those from the Royal Mail, and you click and collect or something, and you print them all out. And that sounds like a far better idea. So I shall be looking into that. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're always kind of reinventing it, aren't we? We're always kind of improving and changing things to kind of as it comes along.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing with Kickstarter is those little extras, which you do pretty well with your little Lego thing. I noticed.
Yeah.
But yes, that sort of thing that people love as well.
Yeah. The collector things. Yeah. And so people have come to us saying, well, one of the backers came and said, what about doing a hardback? And I hadn't even thought about it. And I thought, that's really great. And that's probably half our sales now is the hardback.
Yeah.
And then somebody else came and said, can you do a really super duper one with, spot welding? I don't know what it's called, but and I said, well, yes, but let's not do it in this one. I just want to focus on this and not go there.
Yeah, we might do a hardback for Western Wire. I think there'll be a special hardback one.
Yeah.
That'll work quite well.
Yeah, and all that sort of collector stuff. So the collector stuff is out there, and you can certainly sell to those people once you have them. I think it's good. It's good. Kickstarter is really good. I was also reading today. I can't remember what the pages, but there's some sort of comics initiative going on about being able to buy. Basically, you can buy it digitally on a site. I can't remember what it's called. And then when everything gets back to normal, they will ship you the comic and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's the stores, isn't it? I think the stores are trying to do that.
Yeah.
So buy from the store, you pay the store now, and then they can ship it when it comes in.
Yeah, so worldwide. So that seems like it's getting some traction as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I literally read it today. It was retweeted by John Lees.
I think it's a good idea, because if comic shops don't exist, then the market's gone, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It really would be quite awful.
We need those comic book shops.
We need those comic book shops, and they're great places just to sit and do nothing as well. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Even when you have time.
Yeah.
Well, sit and write, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
How
many projects do you have going at once then? What's your number of projects, ideas, and in different stages?
We have a board up on the door.
Yes.
With at least 12 at the moment.
Oh, really? My God.
Yeah. Wow. Just counting.
13. Unlucky 13.
So,
that's something. I tend to have 5 at most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's not healthy for me, for sure.
Everybody we tell just goes, what? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are always in the various stages. Like, I've just written that thing. This thing's been drawn. This thing's I'm colouring. And this thing's ready to print. They're all in various stages. But no, 13 is just crazy.
Yeah, and there's one up there that I know is not up there. So
14.
Yeah. So that's the article one, which is not up there. Anyway,
he doesn't tell me it. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm trying to keep track of all of the projects we've got going, and then Simon will just be like, "Oh, and there's this other thing, or this other person that I've just been speaking to about this other project."
We're going to need a bigger board, as they say.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's fun. It is good fun. I do like it. I don't know what time if I didn't do this.
It's interesting when I'm at work and sort of people, and you sort of first tell people what you do. And certainly where I work at the moment, you see this thing, sort of expression, which is, I'm not doing that much, sort of thing, on their faces. And it's okay. I think I like being busy. I think it's okay not to be busy. It's okay just to not do anything, honestly.
But funny. So I guess before the Big Bang Theory, I used to tell people I did. I think that when that started to happen, people at work, I could then tell them. It sort of gave it more aware of it more. But then they always assumed that I either did the Beano or something like the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
I always tell them, I see the eyes and I go, I can see the pictures they're forming, and I go, right, I'll bring some in.
Yeah.
I take a little batch in, and they come back. I never knew comics were like that.
Yeah.
Man, I know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I was lucky that my nan came along and bought me comics, because that's all it takes. Because if no one had bought me comics, I wouldn't have known what they were like either.
Yeah. But people over in this country we just don't get comics.
Well, you just get those
Not really.
the dodgy UK versions of them, and they're all weird sized and not almost on the same high shelf as other unsuitable stuff.
Yeah, there is that sort of thing, because I knew about comics because my mother taught me French, and one of the ways that I learned French was through reading. Yeah, and one of the ways that I learned it was through reading the French comics. So I started with Tintin and Asterix and lots of them. And then, but obviously it's a big thing over there and over in Europe.
Have you been to Paris? Have you been to France?
Sorry?
Have you been to Paris or France at all?
I have. I lived there for 3 years. So yeah.
They're a massive shop, all with band designated. They just walls and walls of these beautiful comics.
Yeah.
You get kids, parents, grandparents all buying and reading. It's just
yeah.
I think, my God.
And it's really good, and it's really different to here, because people over here don't. They think comics are for children, and they're very, and they do think of, like you were saying, the Beano or something like that, and they think that they're quite old school. I think the Marvel movies have helped a lot in recent years, but but generally, I think the feeling has always. But I didn't have that because I was reading these other ones, and it's a big thing, and you got the adult comics as well, and that were actual stories and stuff. So it's interesting.
I mean, I did give my one of my bosses a set of my comics. This was way back, and I said, "What do you think of them?" Because he hadn't spoken to me for a couple of days about them. I said, "What do you think of them?" He goes, I gave him to my son. I said, how old is your son? Oh, he's 6. I said, they're graphic violence.
Yeah.
Get them off his son, Wolfman. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
And when he tried, his son stabbed him or something. Yeah.
I don't know what the son thought of it. I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you're battling those, perceptions as well. And
so I will say now, and it's quite funny when I say now, I give them to people say they're adult comics. I said, not in that way.
Yeah.
Don't give it to your kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Don't get what.
So
it's weird though. It's weird that you would give your child because you'd want to know what you were giving them anyway. So it's weird that you would hand over something you didn't know what it was.
People at school that they come up and picked up a comic. And I said, to the mother or father, I said it's not really suitable because I said, what's in it? I said it's just violence, the show and the image. She goes, oh no, he sees worse than that on telly.
Yeah.
My daughter never would have at that age, but it's a different world.
No.
As long as they know, they make the decision. But I don't want them coming back and complaining that I didn't tell them, So
Yeah. It is interesting, isn't it? It is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing on our table. I'm like, and I can see the kids looking at me and they're like, I'm old enough to do this. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. But this side of the table, we have to get.
Well, your Robin's good for that, isn't it? Because that's kind of an all ages type thing.
Yeah, it's good. Girl in the midnight gown and Robin. Yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to have that. It's nice to have the spiel. It's dark side and here's the light side of the table. Whatever you like. It gets them laughing as well, as which always helps. So
And I think it's good having Robin because Robin doesn't necessarily look like a child's comic. So it's not. It doesn't look too.
Yeah.
Young.
It looks cool enough for the kids.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. Have you had a cosplayer as Robin yet? Have you had someone turn up as a character?
I don't think so yet. No.
Okay.
Have you? Am I?
Josiah Black.
This
guy I was chatting to him. He was just ginger. So if he'd been black, I'd have jumped out more.
Yeah.
So I was serving him and he said, "Oh yeah, I love this stuff." And what's the latest one I sold? And I was chatting to him, and he had the Western hat on and the kind of the thing and the gun belt kind of. But I didn't click.
Yeah, no, because you never think, would you? You never think that.
I said, wait a minute. I said, you're Josiah Black. And he just said, yeah.
That's a weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, Mike, wait a minute, you're Josiah Black. Yeah, very cool.
Did you give him a discount?
No. But he was fine. He had them all anyway. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's really excellent, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've not had that yet.
Oh, that's a challenge now.
Yeah.
Now we've got to
he gets a lot. Time Bomb, he gets a lot. Steve Tanner, the lady's dressed up as Lady Flintlock and things with a hat and the.
Oh wow, that's really cool though.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
that's good. What I need then is I need to design a person who wears like self-promoting costume. So
like
Robin had
Blue Fox
Blue Fox, yeah, just happens to be on there.
Yeah.
Maybe
when you see that crop up, obviously you heard it here first. Yeah.
I'll claim some percentage royalty.
Yeah, of course. So what's coming up? What's exciting on the horizon?
Yeah, so I've just so I'm still doing the Blessed Curse. So the Fastest Man was one of those. Was probably the first one of the Blessed Curse books. So I've done about 5 of those now. So I've got one of those being drawn at the moment. So I've written one of those.
Yeah.
We've got Steamster's Robot 6 on colour, as I say, 7 is drawn. We're just adding little pages now to kind of flesh out the trade.
Yeah.
We've got Western Noirs being coloured by Matt Soft, first volume. And Gary's working on issue 9.
Yeah.
So the plan is to colour them all from now. So we'll do a trade of the first 4 and about 3 extra stories. That's on Smack Jeeves, and people want to go on the Smack Jeeves and read it for free.
Okay.
So we collect that, print that off, then we'll get Matt to colour the next 4 as a second trade, and then we'll go straight to trade and colour with volume 3 rather than go through issue 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
As you know, you have to keep these in print. If you sell out of number 7, you have to print it again because you can't sell the others because people want to get all 4. It's just really hard.
Yeah.
So as soon as I can now, and I think where I can, like you said, like we had said before, so Kia's coming out, Kia issue 2. That's lovely art for me, and but that will keep going. I think for the 4 issues as comics, and then I'll collect it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully there'll be a second season of that, series of that, and then we can do similar. But yeah, it's just trying to get that balance really.
Yeah.
Colin's doing his Zulu comic, so he's collecting his Zulu comics, and again, Matt Soft's coloured that. And that looked, I mean, Matt Soft's colouring. I shouldn't tell you guys because you'll poach him, but his colouring is just amazing. It just gives it another level.
Yeah.
Really. So he's done the first. So Colin had these 2 comics, the Zulu Water Cart Rescue. So Matt's coloured those, and Colin again to collect them. He's done another 12-page story, extra 12-page story. So that's being completed, and Matt's colouring that. And again, I guess the downside of the coronavirus thing is that we're aiming for certain events, and because that kind of gone, you take your foot off the gas a bit, and then you do other things, and it drifts again. So it's kind of I think that's probably the main things that are in production. Yeah, that's probably it. So it's probably about 5 things. Oh, the Asylum book, we do a small anthology for the steampunk events.
Yeah, that's right.
Each year, so that's, and again, that might not happen in August because of next year. So it's in the old days when we started this, there were like 3 events a year. 2 or 3, so you hit that event or you waited a whole year.
Yeah.
That really focused your creative efforts, because you missed the Bristol Con.
Yeah.
It's the year before the next one. Whereas nowadays there's kind of 2 a month, or more, so you don't have that hard delivery date. So kind of works against you in some ways.
Kickstarter wise, what's the next one and when?
Well, I don't know, because all the postage, all the problems, I don't know. So Gustavo did a Blessed Curse for me, so he's illustrated that.
Yeah.
It's about a kid that can change into other people.
Yeah.
But there's a good side. So Blessed Curse is a good side and the bad side to having an ability.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with that. That's been printed for a little while now, and that was going to be my next Kickstarter. Yeah. And that's actually printed, but now that's in storage. And because you can't travel unless you go somewhere that you have to bad about going to get it. So everything's kind of stored on that really. So Kia, I'll probably kickstart Kia number 2 next. Yeah. Kia Wordsmith. But I don't know the printing. I don't know if the printers are still running. Richard.
He was last time I spoke.
Yeah. So and again, getting it delivered here. It's just trying to work it all out. Yeah. So that's the next one I'll do, to be fair. So I can get it delivered here, ship it from here. And then when things get back to normal, I'll probably do the Blessed Curse that I did with the Gustavo. That's probably it. But then West later in the year, that's going to be the big one. That's the one we're hoping will beat your number.
Yeah, that'd be great if it would. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah. A little target, me and Gary.
Yeah, no, do it. Absolutely. Well, that's great.
That's very cool. That's lots coming up. So there is lots to look forward to. So that's good.
5, I think. Again, I don't think it's more than 5. I can't imagine doing more than 5 at once in my head.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
I probably do forget some. But
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Ask us this time next year. How did all of that go?
Yeah.
I just hope that so how do we respond to this period of no cons? It's kind of I don't know, because when people come out of this, sadly a lot of people are going to have lost their jobs and things, or it's tough. So again, I don't want to swamp the market with new comics when there's no one with cash to spend. And I wouldn't want to. Yeah. It's just we just need to see what. So what my aim is just to keep producing stuff, keeping it all in a holding pattern, ready to print, and then print them over time and just get ahead of the curve a little bit. So I have issues ready to print whilst the other one's almost finished, rather than then you have to wait 6 months for the next one, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can afford to do so and just keep it backing up so that I have these ready. We need to get together, work out. Be interested in how you decide what to print and how many and when, because we're all in the same boat. Time bombing us and you. It's just like, when do we do this stuff? What's the market going to be like? Hibernation, as it almost is. In November, are people going to want to go to a con with all those people? Are we going to feel safe enough to?
Yeah.
It won't have gone. It's just, I just don't know.
No, just don't know.
That's the problem. The unknown.
We'll see.
But we'll keep creating, keep making, as you say.
You have to, don't you?
Yeah. It's a passion.
Yeah,
So,
it is. Yeah. So, yeah. And it'll get back to normal.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, that's cool. Well, thank you very much, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to chat. Nothing else to do. Yeah. Apart from colouring things as robot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. And
and you stay safe.
all right.
Yeah, you too.
We will.
Yeah, take care. Take it easy.
We'll put links to Dave, your websites and everything in the comments below on YouTube. And so yeah, have a look there and check out Dave's fantastic stuff. And where do you sell this? Is there somewhere that they can buy it at the moment?
You can email us. So if you just contact us through, probably best to contact us through the Twitter account. That's fine, and we can do a discussion, and we can work things out. Okay. We had a website and things, but it got hacked, and then I've never got around to sort it all out, to be honest. But yeah, contact me either through Facebook group or through the Twitter, and we'll sort things out offline.
Okay. That sounds great.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Right. See you soon. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It's fun because everybody does things differently. So everyone is managing the situation now quite differently. But you can still get hold of the books in various ways. That's cool. Dave is one of the, I think, first people I've heard of that you just get in touch directly and grab the comics, but that's nice. So but then there's lots going on still, which is nice.
It is good,
considering everything.
Whilst everything else is stopped on the surface, the duck's legs are paddling underneath. So
everyone's still working.
Yeah, everyone's still working. So.
Getting stuff ready to go for when they can. So that's good.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Join us tomorrow, or being Friday at last, for our graphic novel review of the graphic novels we've got in the house, which are many, hundreds, one might say.
Luckily, in an odd turn of events, we actually have. They're not just all Simon's. We will actually be reviewing other people's.
Yeah.
So but that's good. I've got a bit of a Grant Morrison theme going on.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing 3 different titles, but all Grant Morrison. So that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're reviewing yet?
Not at all.
Excellent.
But
So watch this space. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And we will speak more comics then.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.